The Life of Abraham Lincoln, a story of perseverance and discipline. Abraham Lincoln was born on the 12th of February 1809 in LaRue County, Kentucky. He was born into poverty in a log cabin to parents Nancy and Thomas, and was one of 3 siblings with his sister Sarah and his brother Thomas. Thomas unfortunately died in infancy. His father made a living working as a farmer, a cabinet maker, and a carpenter. When Abraham was 7 years old, the family upped sticks and moved to the frontier of Indiana. There, just 2 years later, Abraham's mother died from milk sickness, a condition where a person drinks milk from a cow that has ingested the plant white snake root, which contains a poison trematol. Sarah and Abraham, at just the ages of 11 and 9, had to step up to run the family household. Just 10 years later, at the age of 21, Sarah would die while giving birth to a stillborn. In his early years, Abraham was said to have shown serious discipline for knowledge. He would read voraciously and consume any and all books he could get his hands on. He was self-educated and eventually became a lawyer. Due to the necessity of constant farm chores and duties, he totaled just 12 months of schooling by the age of 15. His saving grace was his love of knowledge and his lifelong learning. Some of his reading included the King James Bible, Aesop Fables, The Pilgrim's Progress, Robinson Crusoe, and the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. Diligent in his chores and farm work, and although Abraham preferred to work on his knowledge and literary skills, Abraham worked hard enough and gave his father all of his earnings outside of the farm work up to the age of 21. At this time of the history of America, and for the next 2 to 3 decades, America had free states and slave states. A little over a dozen of the states in the Union were free states, and roughly the same amount were slave states. After a short stint from the age of 21 co-owning a general store and serving liquor, Abraham made a move for politics at the age of 24, entered at the age of 26, and remained in politics and practiced law, both in and out of the political arena, for the rest of his life. His life reads as a trial of self-belief and discipline. 1832, lost his job and was defeated for state legislator. 1833, failed in business. 1835, his sweetheart died. 1836, had a nervous breakdown. 1838, defeated for speaker. 1843, defeated for nomination for Congress. 1848, lost re-nomination. 1849, rejected for land officer. 1850, loses son aged 3 to tuberculosis. 1854, defeated for US Senate. 1856, defeated for nomination of Vice President. 1858, again defeated for US Senate, and 1860, elected president. Lincoln is well remembered for his wartime leadership and for his efforts to preserve the Union and abolish slavery. Upon being elected as a president of the United States, the southern states began to make a break from the Union, as the Republican Party had a massive stance on the abolition of slavery. The northern states were being heavily industrialized and urbanized, whilst the southern states lagged behind, as they were predominantly agrarian and rural, and had relied heavily on slavery to produce enough economic output. The Civil War began on April 12, 1861, when Confederate forces attacked a federal military outpost in an attempt to stop the federal encroachment on seceded states. Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation on January 1, 1863, declared all enslaved people were to be set free, which shifted the Civil War's aim towards the abolition of slavery. Lincoln's final achievement was the ratification of the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution on December 6, 1865, officially ending the institution of slavery. Thank you for listening to this brief, but I'm hoping informative topic on Abraham Lincoln and his short biography.